So welcome along to Sofa Chats with these two reprobates, Joshua, Daniel, I'm Matthew. Full names tonight, because I feel like we need to be a little bit formal. That's a lie.
Yeah. This is an entirely adult environment where we should all be very mature.
For the first time in a long time.
How weird would it look, just to set the scenario for people watching, because they're going to be, outside here is a completely open set, not open, but it's patio doors, it's pitch black. Whoever walks past is just going to see us filming ourselves.
Yeah, with all these lights on.
With all these lights on.
It's very obvious that...
At least on this video, we've got all our clothes on, which is less dodgy.
Yeah. We're going to see a lot of this tonight, I'm afraid. Daniel,
oh no, we were supposed to be adult, weren't we?
Daniel is adult, as in not adult, like rated R.
Not over 18, yeah.
I'm only used to the Triple X stuff.
Hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
So have we decided upon a topic?
I don't think we have we?
I said rimming, didn't I? But...
yeah, a lot.
Have you ever rimmed anybody?
Yeah, Josh. Yeah. So downhill very quickly.
Yeah.
Back to the studio.
yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, that's not a topic I know
We
anything
haven't.
about, I'm afraid.
So why don't we start off by saying, or you saying, Matt, a little bit about why we're doing it, what we're doing,
It's got very fucking
the
problem.
whole,
It has, hasn't it?
the whole
Yeah.
idea
It's
behind this.
Graham Norton, isn't it? Yeah.
Where's the red chair, right? Where's your red chair? The idea behind this is to introduce two men of a certain age, whatever age that may be. Not the fact you both started drinking when I said this. Is to introduce the fact that having open and honest conversations with your mates, like our female counterparts do, can be really, really useful for having a laugh, but actually to getting down to some nitty gritty and really understanding that everybody else is going through the shit that's going on inside here at the same time, and being a bit more open and honest, and finding people that you can share these kind of conversations with. All sounds very fluffy, but I know I can say that in front of these two because I feel very safe about talking about that kind of stuff in front of you. And I'm quite an open person. Dan, I would say, is kind of much more open than maybe they used to be. And Josh, you said to us earlier on before campus got switched on, is that literally the last 12 months you've become a much more open person.
Absolutely, yeah.
And how's that helped you kind of develop as a human being?
Yeah, well, I think this year I've learnt a lot in myself and about myself, and through personal experiences and things, I think it's become very apparent to me that talking to people and friends certainly has been a much needed help this year, and it's so important to do, definitely.
And it's quite a serious conversation, but these two will rip me a new one if I need it, and likewise I will throw it back at you. You're building up on a comeback right now. I can see. It's just trying to think about it.
I thought I might bit my tongue because you were doing a serious moment.
Well,
and you told me I had to be an adult.
Yeah, I'm doing a serious moment because at the same time that we can kind of go a little bit deep when we need to, and then all of a sudden, like when we think we kind of need to break the ice, one of us will come in with a cutting remark, a stupid remark, an infantile remark, break the ice, and then we'll kind of have a bit of a chuckle and be all blokey and laughy about it, and then we'll go back again. And that's
it is important, but that's normally Dan talking about rimming is normally the icebreaker.
How it started.
Yeah. I just know that you've got like dreams about that sort of thing. And I feel that, because it's not going to happen, I just think that I should mention it every so often to keep the dream alive.
Play it hard to get. Yeah.
So one thing for me is, and this conversation is, it's not that I love it, it's just it's perfectly normal, it's perfectly natural. And I miss this from the days when I was in a football team. Playing football, forget that. I really, that's inconsequential. To me, it was the banter in the changing rooms that I loved. We'd gone through something together. We'd gone out as a terrible football team and faced another 11 opponents who were all as hungover and as shit at football as us. We'd gone through it together, and then we'd come back and we'd sit in the changing rooms and say, we won, we lost, we did whatever, and then we'd go to the pub and have a drink. And conversations would be talking about football, and then it would kind of go off on tangents. Some would be funny, some would be serious, and that's where the camaraderie of friendship, as you get older, as you start to have other priorities in life, that your business takes over, your work takes over, your life takes over, your family become an absolute priority. And I think, again, one of the key things about Who Needs Instructions is about just trying to pull a little bit back for yourself to maintain that sanity and to help you be a better person to your family, at your workplace, or for your business. We need. This has been brilliant. We've had a lovely little trip away, and it's been ridiculous. And I've had some hard conversations, and we've talked business, and we've talked absolute bollocks as well. And it's been
which we're very good at.
We are fantastic.
But at the same time, we've all opened up quite a lot, I would say. I mean, I've definitely heard a lot more from you about your personal life, and probably likewise. And I think emotions are very normal, and it's very normal to feel things and think things, but God, just talk about them. It makes life so much easier and makes it feel so much better.
As a group of men, we are nowhere near as good at this as our female counterparts are. Women are brilliant at this.
As much as we hate to admit it, though.
Well, might be, a little bit. But I know I'm very lucky to have a nice little group of 4 of us, and the other 3 are women, and they invite me out for curry club with them, and the conversations that we have there are sometimes quite different to the conversations we have here. And I'm sure they don't open up fully in front of me because there's a bloke in the room. But I have heard women having conversations that we would never have. And I'm not suggesting we need to have those conversations, but actually they open up and they have this much stronger bond than we do. And I think that, well, I say we do in general, men, I think we need to become better at this. And I know that I have that bond here in this room and with several other people as well. And what I want to do is the whole notion behind Who Needs Instructions is to spread that and make sure this becomes the norm. What's that at the back of your finger?
Oh, have you saved a bit?
Is it a scab?
No. It's blue cheese.
Saved himself a bit of cheese for Ron, isn't he?
For context, we've had cheese and wine tonight, and
I'm
saving it for dessert.
It looks like you've knocked a scab and you're about now to eat it, aren't you?
Oh, that's not cheese.
That's
it was cheese, but not the sort of cheese it's supposed to be.
I don't know what that was, but I'm going to get rid anyway.
He's gone out of shot though. You coming back or?
Yeah.
We missed you. I love the whole Who Needs Instructions concept. I think the name is so apt because men do not like to read instructions. They do not like to ask for directions.
No.
We don't like to talk about emotions, and not reading instructions actually is quite funny sometimes because eventually we have to have a little look while no one else is looking and learn how the wardrobe goes together. We might take an extra half an hour to get somewhere because we're too proud to ask the way to wherever it is we're going. But they're relatively harmless, is what I'm getting at. But the emotional thing, I think, does. I think saying damage is maybe a bit strong. It doesn't do us any good. It really doesn't do us any good not being open and honest about our emotions. And it's definitely something that the male of the species could be a lot better at.
In the extreme, it does us a lot of harm. A lot of harm.
Can do.
Yeah. And that's what scares me the most. Is that the bravado and the ego of a man who just goes, no, that's not how a man does it. Stiff upper lip, bite the big one. I'm gonna fucking get through this, no matter what. Whereas it really doesn't have to be like that. You could pick one other person and say, look, mate, this is where my brain's at. This is what I'm thinking. Is that normal? And just that conversation, just the old adage of a problem shared is a problem halved.
Yeah.
And if half that pressure comes off that person, it's going to be the thing that doesn't tip them over the edge.
Yeah. And that's what I'm getting at. If you don't ask for directions, someone can lead you to the local duck pond rather than Tesco that you were trying to get to. Whereas if you don't talk about your emotions, if you bottle something up, it can potentially lead you to quite a dark place that is sometimes hard to get out of.
I think you'll always find your way to the destination, but you certainly won't take the easiest and most direct route. You'll always end up in a lot of different places or feel a lot of different things before you get there.
I think I've been fairly, all the way through my life, I've been a heart on the sleeve kind of guy. And just to come back, because again, something I learned today is that you said lockdown was the thing, and a relationship was a thing that helped you go, blimey, don't have to kind of hold on to this. I can talk to other people about it. And and then with hindsight, after talking to people about it, it's better, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, I think, like you say, I've been a very closed book, and I bottle things up. I think it's very common for people my age and our generation to do that, because it's, at the moment, it's not the normal thing isn't to talk to a friend. It should be, but it's not. But for me this year, yeah, definitely, like having you guys around and having, you know, the issues I've had personally and whatnot, it's been so valuable to talk and do things that I thought I would never, you know, only ever dreamt of doing and never had the courage to do, but actually talking about it and doing it makes you, God, it's such a relief, yeah.
And just taking it back into a perspective of, I know you, I think, as a human being, and a lot of areas of your life are what the outside world would say are successful. You know, you're doing well, you're grinding out a really good life for yourself, and I admire you for that. And there are so many people on the outside looking in doing exactly that. And it's not, we don't want to pull away from that. That's fantastic, keep doing that. But it could be even better by being a little bit more emotionally intelligent, and getting help behind the scenes that makes that stuff that you do out in the open that everybody else sees even more rewarding, because life behind it is brilliant at the same time.
But I think that's a very important thing, that people see influencers on social media who are not doing that and who are not voicing their emotions and you know, life experience and things, and therefore I look at influencers on Instagram and think, oh, they're not talking about their feelings, so I probably shouldn't, because it's, you know, a guy's not doing it, I shouldn't do it, and it just has that chain reaction.
Really?
But I think as soon as people start to talk about it, as soon as the male, you know, the males start to voice these things, I think it becomes a lot easier to do.
Marketing always has a really big impact on people's lives, and always has done, isn't it? Marketing is very powerful, and one of the newest and most influential, especially for the younger generation, forms of marketing is social media influencers. So I assume that's what you're getting at. It'd be good if some influencers were, especially big influencers, were better at being more open about their emotions. Again, maybe especially the male ones, and making the younger generation of males realise that it's absolutely fine to talk about your emotions. There's
some really good female influencers, and I can't name names, but they are all over, and I know some people that follow them. Is that you get the beautiful picture perfect woman who's doing her yoga pose, and then there's the average dad bod, mum bod person, and there's a great woman who there's this beautiful model doing this perfect pose, and they've probably taken 200 photos to get the perfect one. And there's this lady who's like middle-aged woman, she's had 2 kids, she's put on a few pounds, haven't we all, and she's doing the exact same pose, but not in a pair of beautiful G-string knickers. It's a great big pair of sloggies, and they've probably got a little bit mothing, there's a few holes inside. They're her favourites, they're her comfortable ones, and she's put on the same pose and not quite pulling it off. Now there are women out there doing that, going, look girls, this is not real, this picture perfect. Are there any men out there kind of doing that kind of stuff, the reality of, I'm not stood there wearing my best pair of shoes, my perfect tight jeans and my perfect buff body, looking out into the distance going, You know, you want the man to kind of take the piss out of himself and say, look, you know, really these guys are taking it. I've just had another idea. These guys are pushing it and going, look, it's just not real. And it reminds me during lockdown when you saw some film footage in the States in particular where there were these influencers who were going, oh, we're going to go help with that homeless shelter. And they would pull up in a car, maybe an Uber even, run over, say, oh, can I get a quick photo with you? You know, pretending to help out open this homeless shelter. And then as soon as the photo was taken, thanks very much, jump back in the Uber and drive off somewhere else. And I saw several situations where it is for the gram, for the Instagram, for the social media. And women are getting better at that, but again, I think the men, especially, and I'm going to pick on your demographic, you know, late 20s, where there is this picture perfect world that's painted. You know, the picture perfect world is never attainable. There is always shit that goes on behind the scenes.
There is.
So who's that guy that's going to get out there and expose that for what it is?
And I can tell you now, I think that if you think someone has had a picture perfect life on Instagram, and they may well have a very good life, you know, they may be very wealthy, they may have, you know, a lot of friends and family, but God, I bet they have sacrificed a lot to get there.
And they have their bad days. They'll have a day where they have a row with their partner or something, but it's never a post on social media about, oh, I've had the worst day, I've just had a row with Ryan or whatever, and you know, I'm feeling really down today. You don't get any of that on social media. You just get the rose-tinted spectacle side of the life, don't you? The pose in front of the swimming pool wearing your bikini. Isn't life great?
You wearing your bikini?
Oh yeah.
I am now, because I thought halfway through the video you said we were going to take our tops off, didn't you?
You're obsessed. You really are obsessed with this. I tell you
I'm
what,
happy to.
Am I?
If that means that you want me to, I'm happy to.
the one thought I had about my age group, you know, late 30s, late 40s, early 50s.
Late 30s. I was like, are we going to let him get away with that on the video?
Wish. He's talking waist sizes again, isn't he?
Still only said 40s, he's actually 50s.
Yeah.
Late 40s, early 50s. There's a part of me that wants to go and try out these new products that are appearing on the market, like the tenor for men and stuff like that. The bit that you haven't quite shaken enough after going for a piss, and it leaks to the outside of your trousers. And they've got these new pants we can wear that the leakage doesn't happen. And there's a part of me that kind of wants to go and put the real that out there on Instagram. Right, I've just nipped into the public toilets, had a quick slash. I haven't got to worry about shaking too much, because I've got my tenor man pads on. It means it's not going to leak through to me nice grey corduroy trousers or whatever. There's got to be products out there that I could go and try like that. It's a piss take. But actually, there is literally. That wasn't a pun. Yeah. I'm funny without even knowing it. But yeah, and because again, I see there's adverts, you know, on TV, and there are women that are doing this stuff, and the self-deprecation is refreshing because it's not all that front about being the perfect person. So yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting world we live in, where social media is part of my life, but hasn't always been. Whereas I expect you've grown up with just social media being a part of your life.
Yeah, I've not been big into social media, and I'm still not. I don't spend anywhere near as much time as you do on it, being your job and whatnot. But yeah, I think social media. I think people look to social media for the feel-good factor. People post a picture for likes, but you know.
I do.
I do. It's very.
Dopamine, is that right?
There's a hit of that. Is that right?
When someone likes something, you get that feeling from that, and then it becomes more and more addictive, and you look at your photo and you've only got 30 likes, I want more.
Yeah.
Still feel that.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah. I mean, I like to put posts on Instagram with lovely views, and they do quite well. Then I put a post about something fairly serious or something about myself, and it gets half the amount of likes. But that one's got much more meaning to it than that beautiful view out there.
But why is that? Yeah. Is that because people don't want to be seen to be liking intelligent and actual meaningful emotional stuff, or is it just because people don't read it? I don't know.
It's kind of where we got to, isn't it? It's where the social media thing is that actually the post about a human being talking about their life is actually the most important thing. Don't get me wrong, I love a view and I love looking at this sort of stuff, but by me manipulating that photo to make it look the best it can with 68 different filters on it, that's going to get me more likes than me going, oh look, I achieved this today.
But that's the same as the 200 shot photo.
It is.
That one perfect
You're
shot.
right.
It's exactly the same.
I'm as guilty as the next one.
Yeah.
Really
But
See,
is.
that whole
the
thing
problem.
doesn't sit well with me. Like, if I post something up, like, I remember there was this one particular photo when I was on that Sweden holiday I said about, posted a picture of the Northern Lights, and so many people liked that, and I thought, oh, that's lovely, because maybe some of those people might see that photo and it might spur them on to go on their own holiday to see the Northern Lights. It's great. Like, that's alright, but I never posted that photo because, I wanted to get a particular number of likes, and I actually, I guess, slightly fear social media. I think I never want to get to that point where I'm posting something because I want other people to think my life is impressive and actually, see those likes as a record of how impressive my life is. That scares me because I want to enjoy my life and I want to be happy in my life. I never want to rely on a social media gauge, of my life is good because everyone else thinks it's good. That actually scares me. I don't like the thought of that at all.
No, I totally agree. I think like I will be the one to judge how successful I am and
that's
how
what matters.
enjoyable my life is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't care what 5,000 followers on Instagram think. It's a great thing and it's great
You've got
achievement.
5,000
No, I
followers.
haven't. No, absolutely not.
Said you got 4,800.
I got 5. No, but I don't care what people think. I put things on Instagram because it's either a record that I want to keep and look back on because it's a great platform. Don't get me wrong, or because I think people could benefit from what I'm posting.
Yeah.
Whereas I think a lot of people get that addiction. A lot of people get enjoyment of growing their followers or whatever. And people make money out of Instagram and being influencers. That's fine, but people should not be sidetracked away from posting for that inner feel, that emotional.
I agree. From the bottom of my heart, I do put stuff out. I love getting likes on it, but most of my stuff are views, okay? And I love a decent view, and I will manipulate. I want it to make it look beautiful.
And what a good view you've got right now.
Yeah.
Handsome bastard.
Too well.
I reckon I could blow it just so you wouldn't be in shot. It'd be great.
Is that point at me or both of us?
Both.
Oh.
I'd be in focus, you two would be out of focus.
What I've said right now.
Yeah. But genuinely, I would love to put a lovely view out there, and it's, for me, from the bottom of my heart, you can experience this too. You can come here and you can look at that and you can see that. I love to get a lot of likes on it, don't get me wrong, but it's because actually it's nothing I've paid for. I've stood on that view. You took us to the Cornwall tin mines the other day. We took some fantastic photos, and I've got, and what my photo of that tin mine is doing all right. They're getting some decent likes on it. But actually, it's just to say, you can come down there and look at that and experience what I felt that day, which was amazing, because all we did was go, oh, imagine what it must have been like to work here.
Yeah.
And it was a miserable, piss horrible, rubbish day, but we had the best time because just some good conversation, lots of piss taking, but some quite, conversations about historical facts and stuff as well, and the stuff that we sort of are happy to share. But it's that ability. It's not me going, look at me with my nice new M&S jacket on. I know M&S is probably not the brand that most people put out there, but that's showing me age. But for me, it's not about that. It's about
65.
M&S do great clothes. They fit me.
I think going back to that though is that you've put a great picture on Instagram and you want people to experience that and see what you've seen. But if I see a post on someone's Instagram and it's a great view and it's local enough, I would much rather go there and experience it, because all you see on Instagram is an image that's a couple inches wide. Go there and experience the whole 365 degrees of it, and the feeling and the atmosphere and things. It's Instagram's great for encouragement, but people shouldn't stop there. People should go further and go and copy people and go to that view, and that view's there for everyone.
Take inspiration.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
And it is a very fine line in those motives, isn't it? You can see that lovely photo, and it's sometimes it's very difficult to know, and perhaps doesn't really make much difference to you. But whether that person has posted that photo because they want to go, look at my amazing life, or whether they're posting it, like you said, because I want someone else to experience that, and you said you post something because you think you want someone else to see that and think, oh, I want to go there. It's hard to tell, and it doesn't affect us much, but there's a big difference to that person why they're posting that. If they're posting it because they want people to think their life is awesome, that's not good for their mental health.
I personally think that, and this is what I do on Instagram, if I see someone who is posting and boasting about their life, their experience, their clothing, their whatever, I just go and unfollow them.
Do you?
Yeah, I just go and unfollow them because I haven't got time. I love looking through Instagram, I love looking through and seeing what people have been up to and quite inquisitive, but I cannot deal with seeing the same person posting, look at my life, look at my expensive clothes.
When you see the obvious ones, like
and that's hard.
Someone like, oh, in this restaurant, I've come here because it's a Michelin 4-star and this cost me £250 to be here.
I just go turn them blue, turn them blue at the office.
And it's interesting, you pointed out some people that you follow on Instagram that and they're posting this picture perfect image, and them and their life.
We had this discussion earlier, didn't we?
And it's like I look at that photo, I think good looking couple, really well dressed, lovely view, lovely image, aren't they having the greatest life? And they're probably very happy with each other, but they're trying to give off this perception that their life is brilliant, and actually their life is really quite normal like the rest of us. But they're trying to give off this fake impression. And I'm not trying to say their life is bad, but it's just round the mill, like most of us are going through. But they're trying to get why? What makes people want to kind of do that? That humble brag. Oh, here we are, just out for a little afternoon walk in our best clothes.
Yeah, that social ego and
we all do it. I think we all do it to a certain extent.
I think we do. Yeah, but I think it's nice to appreciate and documentate and keep that as a memory.
Is that a word?
What?
It's now.
Documentate.
It's now.
Yeah, it is now.
It's real now.
There's probably a lot that's been said here that's not.
That's true.
But I think going recording stuff on Instagram, you know, that is your profile. That's what you'll look back on. You know, it's probably very similar to getting the old photos out, isn't it? Being like, oh, look at these photos from 30 years ago.
I miss those days.
But that's exactly
I
what it is.
miss
We're just
those
in that.
days.
We're in that digital age.
Yeah.
But I think there's just take people's posts with a little bit of pinch of salt and interpret it how you think you should, and maybe not how they've presented it to you. I think
I really liked what you said about the reasons for posting stuff, and I subscribe to exactly that. I think that's perfect. You've posted something because you want to capture that memory for you to look back on your profile, or you're posting it because you would like someone else to see that because perhaps they might benefit from it in some way. Either that's because they want to go and visit it, or they look at it and they just think, oh, that's a really lovely view. Isn't the world a beautiful place?
Yeah.
They've benefited from
Mother
it
Nature's
somehow.
awesome, that
Yeah,
sort of stuff.
yeah.
Well, do you know, I'm going to call a halt to that conversation just there for video purposes. Go on.
and to top up our drink.
And that's the other thing. My glass is empty.
If only someone had made us some homemade Baileys.
It's trademark. Don't use that word.
Oh, sorry,
Irish cream.
Irish crits.
Irish.
Yeah. If
Were
only
you
someone...
serious about that being
No.
trademarked?
No, I don't know. I don't know if it's trademark, but it's Irish cream. Bailey's is a brand.
It's homemade, it's
Not
alcoholic,
Baileys.
and we're going to drink some more
Irish
right
cream, yeah. And we'll be back.